I've been recording. I got behind the scenes. Spooker HD here. Just a man hanging out, creating a good place on the internet.
And Path of Exile grinding gear games as well.
Pause.
And that was the...
And I'm so sorry. My fucking Discord audio got cut.
Good.
It
was so organic. It was so organic.
It was a little woosah though. Little woosah.
We gotta be fake. I hate the fake. It's the worst.
Bring the organics back.
I know.
Hold on. Take the sword back. There you go. So I gotta do this again. I don't even know.
Hey,
this is
it could have been. Could have gotten to the end of it. What we got? Like introduction. That's the only place we got. We should be good. We're still recording now. Okay. Audio is good now.
You can just
I am so sorry. That's why I had to double check early on.
It's okay.
I tried to double check.
Hi everyone.
Don't do that shit. You can be organic with your pre-recorded content. Come on.
No, I just suck. I fucking suck at it, but I'll do my best. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the video. Today we're talking about Echoes and Exile. This is Path of Exile 1 and 2 content, and we're bringing you two additional amazing guys from the community, which are not new to you, but amazing panel members. Go ahead and hit it off first. Hberg LT. Tell them all about yourself.
Hberg LT, you got it. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Full-time streamer on Twitch here. Big ARPG DGen, just like many of you watching. So thanks for being here, and super excited for point 3.
Nope.
Perfect.
Spooker HD here. Just a dude on the internet trying to make it a better place.
Love you make it so simple. Yeah, guys, no lie. This is a retake of the intro. I'll tell you, you can cut this if you want. Anyway, had to do it twice. So today we're talking about one of the most interesting things coming to Path of Exile 2 in a long time, especially since Dawn of the Hunt, and that is the 0.30 patch update, which is looking absolutely fantastic. According to somebody who went to Grinding Gear Games himself, it's going to be one of the largest content drops, which is absolutely we're going to talk about today. Maybe some leaks, maybe some spoiler stuff. So earmuffs if you don't want to hear that, but we are going to talk about what we know because we know about it. We can actually talk about that. Another thing is the successful launch of the Merciless Gauntlet, courtesy of Zizaran and Grinding Gear Games. And I'm not sure if Hberg, if you got into that at all, but I know Spooker and I did. And I want to talk a little bit about that and see what your experience was like and how maybe that could bring some value to Path of Exile 2. So let's kick things off there. Hberg, did you get a chance to try the Gauntlet? And if you did, what'd you think?
I did not. I think I've been asked this a few times, and with my solid 48 hours in Path of Exile 1,
that's way more than enough.
Heavy. Yeah.
I actually want to get back in there once the 0.3 void, the whole mid-season void sort of thing, the traffic dies down. That's when I actually plan on getting back into Path of Exile 1 and stacking up some more hours there and be more prepared for the next Gauntlet.
Was it a reason, like, is it a personal thing why you didn't try it, or like why didn't you get into the league? What was the thing? Was it a timing thing or what?
Yeah, content schedule that I already had promised to my viewers, and also just personally excited for as well. Yep.
Gotcha. Cool.
And also, my wife and I were away for a music festival from Friday to Monday, so 4 days during the Gauntlet event.
Just missed a bunch of it, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it was great. It was amazing every time. So like
Love
an annual. Yeah, been going since 2012, so it always feels like home.
Oh, that's good. That's good. A little traditional thing, huh? Very nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very good. Okay, so Spooker, you played it, man. What did look at that Reese's cup? You couldn't get it. You couldn't get more in that mug. I love that, dude. What'd you think?
I thought this guy was sweet enough, man.
Hey, they're just giving it. Yeah, no kidding, right? What'd you think of it, man? What were your thoughts?
So it was amazing. Like I've never been a softcore player, right? And it wasn't until Diablo
softcore player.
Correct.
You never been a softcore player.
Correct. Correct. Hear me out. Okay. It wasn't until Diablo 4 when there was so many issues, and I literally died like 17 times before level 10 to just random, like there was nothing on my screen. I glitched in rubber, whatever the case was be. So I was like, I can't make it past level 10. This ain't fun. I'm gonna I started softcore. I had a blast. I had a phenomenal opportunity to meet you and your community, which was just great. And I was able to do
our community. Yeah. Continue. Our community. Yeah.
And so it was from there on that I realized that being a hardcore player was fun, and I loved it, and I still do it. My biggest takeaway from that lesson was I can reach out to more people and actually do exactly what you do. You know, it's like I have a lot more time to play, even though I am a full-time dad, husband, and I have a full-time job. I still put in the hours in the gaming, so I could help so many people that literally only have an hour a week, 2 hours a week. And so I've kind of just branched off of that path, and I love it. So back to the Zizzering Gauntlet, what made it feel so good is not only was it back into my land of what I enjoy, the hardcore, but oh my gosh, like it was it was one of those, like, it's an old game, but every corner you take there was a surprise.
Yep.
And it's like, what's this? I participated in one gauntlet, and I don't remember which gauntlet it was. I didn't make it very far. I think I made it to the mud flats and died like three times in the mud flats. I'm pretty sure it was Taroa's.
Sure. As we do, right? As you do.
But this one, I went duelist, which has the double strike bleed.
Yeah.
And when I first saw Hillock, my first thought was like, what the ever living shit? Like, Maven influence off the start? Like, sorry,
to
spoilers for those jumping in.
Yeah. For those of you guys that don't know, we should say really quick, the Zizzering Gauntlet, if you don't know what it is, because maybe like H-Berg situation, like everybody else, you had something else going on. So in Path of Exile, it's a community-driven event that has... Oh, you're familiar. Okay, but in case you're not,
take it away.
It's like taking the base game, any ARPG that you play, and dialing up to like 11,000. Like, you just fucking send it, and so that every boss is more tricky, less trivial, more interesting, and like even the content itself is more rapid. As an example, let's say you're playing like I don't know, Diablo 4 game, right? Instead of just fighting Lilith, now whenever Lilith attacks you, she has 5 extra additional projectiles that might like fly out there, and everything's kind of echoed. It's like, it's very dangerous, and that's the whole thing. And so when Spooker's talking about his experience, he's also telling you, like, that's such a revitalizing, refreshing thing in hardcore, because not only is the game awesome, it's now awesome with all this risk, right? And that was like the dopamine for you, right?
Yep.
Yeah. And now you made it much further. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh yeah. I can say I successfully defeated Hillock the first time.
I did not. I got owned. Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did the holy shit moment. Like, they actually did that, and that was pretty cool. It's been a holy shit moment ever since. So it's interesting because this league comes in, I guess, at a bit of a lull in Path of Exile 1's economy. If you play in the trade economy, it's pretty much known, figured out. Crafting is pretty much where most people are. I don't know how I would gauge most, but I would say it's been out for long enough, and people are kind of looking for something new, right? I think that's kind of fair. Would you guys agree? Like, that's kind of... The game's had its run now, like of the first the 3.26 league, and now it's time to try something else. You guys doing that now or no?
I mean, I still have stuff to do in the mercenary.
So do
leagues,
I. Got a little bit more.
I'll probably play it straight up to 0.3 launch, so I'm excited. It's one of the first leagues that I've played more than I won't say the first league that I've already put in more than a month. I think I have like 48 hours on the character I'm playing, and I still have goals that I want to meet. It's been a great league.
Yeah, totally good. Yeah. H-Berg, what about you? What do you think about the league? 3.26.
I think I think I can sum it up with 4 letters: FOMO. Yeah, that's it for me.
You have a fear of missing out?
I haven't played it at all. I mean, I haven't had a chance to play out 3.2 at all.
So
yeah, and no mercenaries for me.
H-Berg, I'm
so
telling you, you have until the 29th. If nothing else, take some time away from stream, since you have the commitment and promise to your community, and just dive in there. It's one of the best leagues in probably the last 4 or 5 leagues, and I've played almost every league. I think I've missed out on 1 or 2 leagues, but I've gotten into almost at least every league, at least for a few days, to kind of see, do I want to play at this league or do I not?
Oh hell yeah, noted. It's on schedule for me for at least a week before. So next week we have some things planned. The 17th I have something going on, and then that following week is when I'm going to be diving into PoE 1, and then probably a few days before 0.3 drops is when probably just getting back into a little bit of PoE 2 as well. Right.
It's the craziest segue, and your situation is like perfect for where we're going, because Grinding Gear Games, GGG, they're going to have a 4-month release cycle for PoE 1, PoE 2. That's going to happen.
Yeah.
So how that affects somebody in your position, all of us, right? We're all content creators. We're all trying to make cool stuff for our communities. And this really, I'm going to say, accelerated release cycle definitely affects us in our accessibility into other games, like a Titan Quest 2 or like a if you're going to play a D4 Season 10 expansion, whatever the hell that's going to be, right? Like, we don't really know. And it's a very small window of opportunity now because GGG is just crushing it. So what are your guys' thoughts on the release cycle of essentially playing a game from like PoE 1 or 2 for only a 2-month window? Of course, you have player agency to say, you know what? I can wait on the other one. I'm going to sit here. I'm really enjoying myself. How does that equate into like what you guys expect for your content schedule, if you will?
Nature, go ahead.
Yeah, let rip.
Honestly, I think it's great. I think it keeps things refreshed. Right? It keeps the content variety in check as well. It also it'll help keep me in the loop, right? With less than 50 hours, still lots to learn, man. Lots to learn. So similar mechanics, right? Similar world, gameplay, things like that. I know, of course, the colored gear socket system with skill and support gems is completely opposite, of course, than Path of Exile 2, but it's about the understanding and just being within the same lore environment. So 2 months is actually good because I can't see myself playing Path of Exile 2 specifically longer than 2 months next league.
Yeah.
I definitely have a few more goals in mind, especially even a level 100 grind, so that's going to take some time.
Oh, you're doing that?
But generally speaking, even though I can see myself having fun for more than 2 months, there is usually around that time, even for Diablo 4, Diablo 2 Resurrected, which I still stream, of course. Maybe not Path of Exile 1, because I don't know for sure, but usually around that time, of course, the player-based traffic in general dies down, as we all know. I usually call it like the mid-season void. So that's perfect way to just balance both, right? And again, just stay in the loop.
So you like it? You think it's a good curve? Okay.
I think it's great. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to start with, I think it's fantastic. But for me, it's absolutely abysmal. And let me tell you why. Okay.
Okay, good.
I love Path of Exile 1. I love Path of Exile 2. I also love many other games. So my problem is that now I have even less time for in-between moments, which is going to make it a lot more difficult to squeeze in those extra days of content creation, whether it's for those games or trying new games. Because I don't know if you guys have heard of Hellclock. Hellclock looks like a really good game that's coming out. Titan Quest 2. I'm so excited for that. I'm iffy on playing the early access.
Likewise.
Just because it's short and I don't know that I want to put that many hours into it, and then like when the game does come out, I feel disappointed, right? Or it's completely different than what the EA is, and now I'm like, well, I was looking forward to this or more on this. But needless to say, I absolutely love it. And it also gives you the opportunity, if you so choose, to stick to Path of Exile 1, because, okay, Path of Exile 2 is bringing out their new content, but that's not what I'm waiting for. For example, if Druid doesn't come this launch, right, and that's the character we're all looking forward to, I can continue playing PoE 1 because I'm already enjoying it. So it's kind of a hit or miss for me. How about you, Barricade?
Yeah, thanks. So I think good replies all the way around. I think it has an impact, and it's not something I really want to get into on this podcast, maybe the next one. It does have huge impact and implications into experimental builds and time, in the window of time. Like, it depends on what someone's goal is when they play an ARPG. Is their goal to like get to the end game, crush it, get god tier gear, slap the content, and get out in 2 weeks? If that's the majority of people, then yeah, you'll probably be able to do that if you've been able to do it before. But with a crunch time frame of 2 months, where's the experimental window now? It's like a new skill, like how far can we push this? Well, you don't really know because right behind you is the fire and it's coming to just take you off to the next game, right? So I wonder how that might work with builds and stuff. So for me, I'm going to make it work. I think it's cool. I got to get in that window to find out myself. I look forward to the challenge, and we'll see how it feels. But it sounds good, and I think they've been a little bit, they being Grinding Gear Games, been a little bit longer on the cycles already. So maybe there'll be some lenience there. I'm not really sure, but I do think that it will result in less player burnout, I hope, and less experimental builds. I think that's what we might get. Actually,
yeah. The experimental build part is definitely something that I overlooked as well. But now that you mention it, that's true. Like, I mean, I played this league for Dawn of the Hunt. I played Lightning Spear quite a lot, but then started dabbling into a little bit of hardcore solo just for some fun challenges. But then going back to softcore, I started putting together like an explosive shot crossbow builder just for fun, just to switch it up instead of always Galv shards, and then try to test out the new unique crossbow they added, right? Where it sacrifices life for unlimited ammo.
Right.
And unfortunately, yeah, other things picked up and kind of got in the way. So yeah, it's like the experimental builds though are fun. It's fun to grind towards. It's fun to also, start cooking and crafting different items than you normally do, right? After the past month or so, depending how long you played it. But yeah, it's nice. Again, it's nice gameplay variety. It feels refreshing and just feels different. And you might just discover something completely by random and just put it together and it ramps, right?
Yeah,
And
it's
it
yeah.
owns. That's
Yeah.
a very satisfying part to experimental builds, and it's a good point. Yeah, well
Yeah,
said.
because it's just you get to that part where you have that experimental build. It's got some legs to it now, and next week I have to go back to this other game, and I can't really flex that build to see what it can do because there's that game I don't want it. That's that FOMO. I don't want to miss out. It's like, damn, do now I have to make that sacrifice, right? And you don't have to now. Like I look back at like someone like a Macro Bio Boy, right? When he had that crossbow fire sork in Diablo 2 Resurrected, right? Just mowing down
Right.
cows, and everybody got on that build. If the experimental window wasn't there, the whole community, I think, misses out on that unless you're attuned to that build, right? So this is just something I thought we should totally talk about this on the next podcast. That's absolutely a thing.
True.
But before we do that, we should talk about the meat and potatoes, the big leaks and spoilers and stuff. So, do you guys want to go down this alleyway, or do you want to be surprised? Like, have you looked into it at all? Have you opened Pandora's box?
I don't think I have, unless there's new information in the last 48 hours.
Yeah, I was gonna say
All
unless
across.
it's all relatively new. So
So you guys
there's
are up
some-
to it.
I'm down. Like, I mean,
most likely, I'm
we're
up to
gonna
it.
hear
Yeah,
about the
let's
spoilers
go for it.
before they come, anyways. But
Yeah.
how true are they? You be
Right.
the judge.
How does this live in that environment, right? Okay, so Act 4, we know from a few different sources, put them together, and who's saying it, right? Whether it's a Darth microtransaction interview or it's Reddit posts or whatever. Act 4, we say King's March, but it seems like it's Karui, which is going to be like boats leading to a zone. It's all tribal, and we knew how to
remember that
stitch that
place.
together. Yeah, the Karui, right? And there's many like Marmoa
Okay.
is an NPC. She's Karui. There's all kinds of things. That's the tribal stuff, and so. This is where Hberg might get a little bit, hot and bothered under the collar. That might mean Druid. A Druidic guy might come out of
Yeah.
a wood-born fortress, right? You could see like that's how they bring it in. What could you envision that, or is that out of the realm of
Oh, for
possibility?
sure. Oh, absolutely, man. I envision it.
Okay.
I can embody it. The whole works, man.
Okay, so if we go to this idea of like we're done Act 3, we're going to Act 4 now, and we're going to Karui, yeah? We take a boat to go to this zone. In this zone, there's gonna be like this pit of like I don't know what it is, like some kind of graveyard, big pit, huge thing. There's actually a book you can look at that shows you the artwork for it, which is huge, like huge pit, like it's crazy, like an abyss, massive. And so we go into that, then there's some undead stuff too. So maybe the druid never gets there, but maybe it does. You think maybe. After that, and we're going to talk about all this like in a little bit more depth, but after that, we go to Act 5, which is Oriath, which I don't think Hberg, you would know much about Oriath because did you beat the campaign?
Got the Act 8.
Okay, so you might have seen some parts of it. Oriath is like in ruins. There's like this guy named Cirrus. He also shows you like it's all burnt to shit. But that might be Act 5, where like these guys, I think the storyline goes something like they're in Oriath and now the gods are back, which is like what you're fighting the whole time. You're fighting these gods and they're back in Path of Exile too. So 4 is Karui, tribal, 5 is Oriath, 6, I don't know yet. I couldn't find anything that's like, yep, that looks legit. So I won't speak on 6, but 4, 5. If that's true, do you guys think PoE 2 and early access is better with a 4-5 act? Or how do you envision the split having to be where you're like, holy shit, this isn't a slog? Like, I don't mind playing the campaign, but what the hell, Like, because Act 3 was kind of long in the beginning. Did you guys feel that way?
Well, it was also because a lot of the game's still not there, right? So a lot of these quote unquote dead ends that people are running into is like, oh shit, I ran all the way this way into a dead end. Well, they've already said it's not a dead end. We just don't have the content inserted yet. So
right.
It's one of those like, to me, I never got the feeling of a slog through the campaign.
I don't get that either.
So I really can't
neither.
I can't touch on that for a lot of people complaining about that.
Okay.
I would say it would be a good thing for them to drop 4 and 5. It would be exciting, of course, for everyone, all of us here. And they also get to work out the kinks, man. It's early access. They're gonna find things, even if it's just like world environment. Like you said, like where Spooker was just commenting too, things that are literally just dead ends and cut off, and may even have like missing tiles. I came across some missing tiles as weird. It's literally just a blank slate on the floor. Saw a few of those at time to time. So I just on like the developer side, I think it would actually be good to bring out 4 and 5, but also for the player side, it'd be good to work out maybe some of the cons. Maybe some of the monsters are just way overtuned. Maybe the density of some of these particular annoying monsters might be too much. Like for example, river hags in the Drowned City. I don't think they actually reduced the amount, but they definitely reduced their cast, right? Their cast speed. And at the start, if you guys remember, towards the beginning, it was bad. Like it was really annoying to roll through that place. So
trying to dodge like 17 drowning orbs.
yeah, exactly.
Like
It's really
Spooker
bad.
played Warrior. He played Warrior like crazy. He would know about living that melee nightmare where it's like, I can't be near circles today. Like that's just how it goes, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So there's definitely, I would say there's a lot more pros than cons to releasing 4 and 5. I would say the only con really is it will take away a decent chunk of excitement for the full release to say, holy shit, now we're getting the next 3 acts. This game feels like it just got twice as big. Obviously, technically did 3 more acts, but at least if we were to get Act 4 and then we still get 5 and 6, that's still pretty exciting. Feels like a double expansion sort of thing. But if it was only 4 and 5 and we're still waiting for 6, still excited. Right? Still exciting to see the last act there and just see how it all ends. Well, ends to continue, of course, but you know what I mean, yeah. So overall, me personally, I would love it. I think it'd be great.
Spooker, what do you think when you see behind the veil? Like you get access to it early. How does that affect you? Would you prefer to go in blind, or do you like having all the information so when it goes day one we go, you got a game plan? How do you feel about that?
So I'm on both sides of the fence, actually. This is where I can kind of
Oh,
play...
you're doing the Switzerland?
Yeah,
Italy
I can play
and
devil's
World War II.
advocate at the same time on myself, because I've been on both sides of the fence at one time for different games. So depending upon the game and the style, right? Action RPGs, that's kind of the whole idea of it, right? That you come into that newness feeling, which I honestly don't think that even if we have 100% of the game before launch and then they launch a new league on launch, I don't feel like we're not going to feel that new feeling with a completely brand new league, a league mechanic, and everything behind it.
I
Because
agree.
GGG has always been so on point with when they create a league, it hits the game so hard that there's no choice but, okay, we have so many new options, new valuable assets that we can go to. But
have you not played Necropolis? That thing sucked. That thing, you run over bodies. Yeah. I know what you're saying, but their execution
that might be
flops sometimes.
one of the leagues that I didn't play, actually.
Oh, let me tell you, it sucked. It wasn't there, man. But I get your point. Yeah. My stance is that I want the information because I just want to share it, right? I want to take that dude or dudette who doesn't have a lot of time and like make the path to be easy for you, but just know like there's a lot of ways to get there. This might not be the way to play it. Like I don't like the idea of one build, right? Like there's always a meta, but I like the idea of player agency. And like any build, I hope could be good.
Likewise.
But what makes it so difficult, and this is like I'd love to get your opinions on this. Another good point. How much does itemization matter when skill level, like skill gem level, things like that, when that overtakes all of the choices, because mathematically getting plus to skills outperforms the unique synergy that you could get. What, like in Path of Exile 2 as an example, right? You're going to go for the wand, that's plus 5 skills. You're going to go with the focus, that's plus 2, unless there's like a Wrath Pith unique that's like just giga hard to get anyway, but maybe gives you a bit more damage. Like, how do you guys feel about that? Have you ever thought about like any thought about what would you do with itemization to make that a little bit more of an open library of opportunity? What are your thoughts on that? Balancing plus to skills versus uniques, how in the game, how do they get that better?
That's a cool question. This is a cool one. I would say maybe they could ramp up the Recombinator with some sort of aspect infusion, like the mechanic from Diablo 4, like the currency or the materials required to do so would be obviously maybe pinnacle content, but hard, right? We want it to actually be achieving, not so common where you can run through like 15 maps and like, oh great, I now have enough to just try to recombo like 4 or 5 different uniques. No. If it's a very build reliant unique or something that's going to really skyrocket your performance, then I think that could be a cool concept. Right, so Recombinator, again, we take 2 rares, and if it's not, I think you can use Fractured on those, and then you can still have a chance to take away some of the other stats and transfer them over to the other item. Right, so I think they could definitely somehow ramp that up.
Okay, so you're saying like you would use a Recombinator to get a better outcome for a unique item, or do you see rares overtaking the uniques as a power structure?
So you could, I mean, it could have a chance to do either or, right? So maybe a slight little taste of corrupting your item. Could be good or could be bad, but you take a rare and you have a unique, and either the unique aspect goes over to your rare, or you get, say, 1 or 2 stats from your rare over to your unique.
Oh, can be broken. Everybody, it's broken. That's
so
broken.
It could also
cool.
That's a last epoch thing.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, that's cool.
Dude, last epoch has the best crafting out there. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No worries. I'm still thinking too. Like it could also.
This is a Path of Exile stream. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. It's not a Wendy's.
It's a cool idea, right? This is Wendy's. Yeah, it's a cool concept to think about. It's like, and it's hard one to answer because if it was easy, we'd know it. But your idea is kind of cool about putting that unique ability on a thing without giving up the plus to skills. Like something's got to give. I just don't know what it is. It's like, how do you? How? Yeah.
And I think to make it not so broken or so easy is, again, kind of similar to masterworking, where you could get, it could be any of the properties. It could have been that, like, say for example, Howl gloves, right? You know how it's you get X amount of lightning damage per intelligence, right? And then X amount of attack speed. So maybe on your rare, you're trying to hit that attack speed and not the lightning damage. And unfortunately, it didn't work out for you, and you got the lightning damage, right?
Yeah.
So in order to make it more of an extensive grind and certainly more a rewarding feeling, it would be a chance to swap over any of the stats for a unique. And again, it would require certain specific currency.
Spooker, he gave you a good batter up. What do you think? How do you solve it?
I'm this is, I promise you, a Path of Exile talk, okay? But I'm gonna bounce back to the last epoch because I played last epoch and I understand why you, Barricade, didn't care for it as much, which is fine. I completely understand. The gameplay fluidity for you wasn't there, and I get that. And some people that's something that makes it breaks the game for them. But to this point particularly, last epoch does an excellent job of taking uniques and making even the most obsolete unique an absolutely legendary item that you would want to get. Now, to throw that in perspective for people that don't know about last epoch's crafting system with uniques, is you can find a unique that has up to 4 legendary power, which allows you to craft literally the unique and the rare and make them one. So you get the best of both worlds. You can find that perfect rare and slam it into the unique you want. So now you get this unique bonuses with the rare bonuses combined to make you even that much more powerful, which would also make some of these Path of Exile uniques that are kind of good would be completely viable for min-maxing your character in an endgame scenario.
Very cool.
So that's interesting because that's one big gaping hole in Path of Exile 2 compared to PoE 1. And I think it's the implementation of grinding your games, right? Crafting limitations for a new player joining their game is very limited compared to PoE 1. Bit of a diatribe. I'm enjoying Path of Exile 1's League because I'm getting into crafting now. I'm understanding the Hoarder crafting bench, the Recombinator, bringing things together, percenter. I get all that. That's great. And I'm actually making my gear, which is costing me much less in divines on the trade economy. And subsequently, I'm just having more fun doing that. And so when I go back to Path of Exile 2, I do feel limited in that my choice is Soul Core, Rune, or what? It's like what you're talking about, Hberg, kind of falls in line of what I would consider beginner-friendly or intermediate crafting, even if I knew that I could say, okay, I want to find that unique off that guy and I could target farm it. And then I have this really cool glove that I'm about to brick or crangle. I'm willing to put them together to make me grind again to get something similar. I would do that loop. I absolutely would do that loop. Is that enough of a crafting experience for people that love Path of Exile 1, got the game where it was, so that 2 could go into development? I think the answer is no, but what do you guys think?
Hell no,
right?
Hell no. Because
why not?
And I don't mean to interject, but like when it comes to the crafting system in Path of Exile 2, it's just not there. There's really
Can
not.
we talk about specifically what are you talking about the crafting system?
So
what are you saying?
With
what are you saying?
The most we have is like essences. We have the recombinator, right? I think it's still recombinator as well. But runes aren't crafting, right? Runes are just adding a stat to an item in a socket.
No, runes are deterministic outcome. Like I could say, use this. Omens. Excuse me, omens.
Omens. Yeah. Omens are
and essences.
But
omens, essences. That's it.
Even omens, right? Like, yes, there is a just slam and pray process, right? In Path of Exile 2. In Path of Exile 1, yes, there is a slam and pray process. However, in Path of Exile 1, you have a way to go through that loop without completely bricking or your items just done. And I think that's where the difference between Path of Exile 1 crafting and 2 is that 2, once you hit it, it's just done. Now you can just I can already see the look on your face. You could just annul. You could literally just annul back to nothing and start over. Yeah, right. But in Path of Exile 1, it's like, okay, I have this item 50% crafted. I'm never going to drop below this 50%. Whereas in 2, I could completely lose everything I'm looking for by going through that loop process.
We got a silver bullet in this podcast today called Hberg, okay? This guy's got a very limited... No, like Austin, the guy's the fucking golden horseshoe. He's got a very limited set of hours put into an amazing game that we know pretty intimately at this point. We're doing okay. He knows ARPGs very well. Like, to your credit, you do, right? So when it comes to crafting in Path of Exile, first question for you, Hberg, how much do you know? And then subsequently in Path of Exile 2, did you ever feel like there was never enough for you to make your items the way that you wanted? Like, how much crafting do you know in PoE 1? It's okay if it's like nothing. And then what did you feel about crafting? Yeah, in 2. Go ahead.
Not much besides watching two of you here, but I have actually learned a bunch from Janus. He's helped teach me a bunch.
Janus is another guy we know. He's not a thing.
What Spooker is saying is... What Spooker was just saying regards to the 50% cap, and that he's hitting it on the nose with this one. But I would say you can still avoid that, though, even with the annulments, once they introduced fracturing orbs, right? And again, if you... I don't know, I think we can only use one fracturing orb, though. Right?
You can only fracture one modifier. That's right.
Yeah. Correct. So at some point, if we're getting 6 in total... I mean, yeah, we still have the chance to lose 5 others, or even 2. Maybe the item has it's a 4 out of 6 banger.
No, like usually it was one. So just really quick, like refresher, right? With a fracturing orb, it has to have 4 modifiers. So you got a 25% chance to hit the one that you want, and then you'd go past that, right? That's usually
exactly.
What you type. Okay, so continue. Yeah.
So what I meant was, to be specific, is if you ended up crafting it and slamming, the exalts or whatever, all the way down to you got your 6th mod, and you say, oh god damn it, dude, 2 of these are a waste. Let's try to strip it back, or try to reroll them, annul them, or perhaps chaos, whatever it may be. But then you're just getting the shit end of the stick, and it starts going back and back and back and back and back, and then you're basically scrapped all the way down to back to 2 mods or possibly 1. So I would say Path of Exile 2's crafting right now is. And again, from what I've seen in Path of Exile 1, I'm agreeing with both of you guys. It is probably half the magnitude in caliber, because
way less than that.
Right now,
way less. But that's what he thinks. It's fine.
We have so fracturing orbs, essences, omens, and then of course chaos or annuls. Right?
That's right.
And then I guess you can only roll it back so far, and then once the item's toast. Like, say, if you did manage to really lock in that T1 physical boost, right, versus flat physical damage.
Which used to be a higher number. They made it back T1 like PoE 1, right?
Yeah, they rolled it back. Yeah. So say you have a perfect or almost perfect T1, and you lock that one in, great. There's your base, but then there's still a very high chance to blow through a lot of expensive currency to try to reroll it even back to 4 out of 6, or even 5 to 6 out of 6, to a point where most players, even myself, either will go broke by then, or just lose steam and say, fuck it, let's keep going and try.
There you go. So to that position, right? Did you feel like there was enough for you to craft? Like, was there enough control over your items in 2 that you were happy? Were you happy with the way that you were able to construct an item?
I would actually say yes, because I don't have PoE 1 to compare it to, right?
That's right. That's right. You see, that's the whole thing.
Yeah. So I would say that's probably the best way I can put it. It actually still felt like enough to me because luckily, not only getting great RNG in general for currency drops, but also a lot of other rare items and uniques that I was flipping to be able to afford crafting. Yeah, it still felt good. I felt like I always had enough, but there is definitely, I would say it's a 30% hell yeah, and 70%, oh shit, face palm, whatever, right?
And it's going to be that way, right? There's going to be a lot more diamonds in the rough. There's a lot more rough than diamonds, right? So
yeah.
let's
Totally.
take one of your crossbow builds as an example. What was one of your most like your favorite crossbow builds that you played on your guy? What was that one?
Well, it was 4 Galv shards, and it ended up being a 6 out of 6.
Okay.
It was 2 fizz, boosted Ellie, 7 proj, attack speed, and I believe there was an attribute on it, which still helps. It was dexterity, so how is right,
okay? So imagine if you had the option to say, I went to craft this thing on my crossbow, but it actually rolled +2 intelligence instead of dex. What if there was a bench that you could go to and it says the next attribute that we change could either be strength, dex, or int, and you spend some currency to make int dex? How much easier is that thing to make for you, right? So much simpler. How much?
Very nice,
I want to take it. Yeah, I want to take a fire mod and make it a
great way to put it. That makes more sense. Yeah.
But that's what we do in Path of Exile 1, right? We find like the missing piece and we just farm the game to give us the ammunition to pull the trigger to make that modifier what we want. And then we kind of go like, damn, it's not T1. We just go for another 10 hours. Okay, now it's T2. Damn, 4 more hours. I got T1, grind. Right? Yeah, and like you don't mind the grind because the gain is worth it and the grind's not that bad, right?
100%.
So
yep.
what people in PoE 2 don't have is that yet. And that's what the PoE 1 community who crafts just wants. Like the story of like the item's journey is a little bit short because there's not much to do there. And I've always liked it. I've been okay with PoE 2 until I started crafting in PoE 1. I said, damn, we're really missing out here. And I wonder if that's why people from 1 don't enjoy 2 as much, in addition to other things like movement
I'm sure
skills.
It's coming, man. I'm sure it's coming, right? Again,
but this is it. Like
I've heard we talk about leaks, movement skills.
Yeah.
Supposedly they're coming.
Dash skills, that's right. Supposedly. I was working with Wowhead and some of the moderators that we work with in the community and stuff, and we put together that frivolous April Fool's Diablo 2 City of Gold thing. I ate so much shit for that, but it was so fun to make.
I bet you did.
But where I was going with it is like with enough AI and tech and like Photoshop and stuff, I can make anything look real. So I'm waiting for the mothership to be like, no, this is coming. I see it, but seeing isn't always believing. So I'll see what happens, right? Just people whispers on the wind. There's one guy, Darth Microtransaction. He knows, but he can't talk yet. So we'll see what happens in time there. But I guess so. Where I was going back with you, Hberg, is you felt like it was okay, and I think you're a good representation of people playing PoE 2 to say, is the crafting easy enough, and is there enough nuance in it to feel valuable? And like it sounds like you felt like yes, right?
Yeah.
And then the idea of like weighing plus to skills versus a good unique you want to use, but you can never use that unique because there's no way to craft it beyond the plus to skills.
Yeah.
You have an answer for that now. So do you think combining all those questions together makes for a more wholesome item journey, or do you think that's too much?
100%. Yeah.
You don't think that's too much?
Nope, not at all. Again, very rewarding, and if it doesn't work out, then it still has me encouraged to get back to the grind and doesn't really build up any burnout. Like I still have a goal sort of thing, right?
I'm so glad you said that, as you perfectly segue into a question mark you knew nothing about. The end game, that grind that nobody seems to enjoy, actually. When I keep asking questions about, like, what do you hate most about PoE 2? Because I just want to see what people think. It's, you'll laugh. I hate the Atlas. They hate the grind of the Atlas. What do you guys just think about the grind of the Atlas before we get into what's changing with it? From leaks. What do you feel about the end game grind of the early access experience? Whoever wants to pick up the ball, go ahead.
All right, so I enjoy it. Yep, okay. I do enjoy it. Okay. I did not like it at first. I had a lot of dead ends, and the biomes were just absolutely fucking brutal. There was way too many valve factories and seepage, and
yes.
Yeah, I mean, the way they reworked it, it's much better now. I actually do enjoy it, and looking forward to boosting up all those towers and saving up all my juicy tablets, and then it's go time. Let's make some money today. right? Let's hit some crazy density, right?
Oh
Let's
yeah,
drop
yeah,
some
yeah.
currency sort of thing. Let's mess up some bosses, and yeah, I actually do enjoy it because I like I do like an endless journey. Um, and I like how it's sort of, self-generating and bit like a No Man's Sky sort of thing with the Atlas, right? And then also you just can get lucky with a really, really good cluster and hit some of your favorite maps, juice them up, and again, just have a good time. And you don't always have like you can go in all sorts of directions, right? And you're not always forced to play the maps that you really just don't like. And that's what I enjoy about it. Yeah. I actually honestly like plain and simple, I enjoy the Atlas. I may be in the in the minority here, but
That's
again,
fine. You're allowed. You're allowed to have an opinion. Yeah, you're allowed to.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I
Right on.
think it goes both ways for a lot. It depends on the player and what they're used to and what they've experienced prior to, right? And that's kind of where I jump in. It's like I've had the experience of a lot of Path of Exile 1 hours, and I will be the first to say I do not want Path of Exile 2 to be Path of Exile 1.5. Okay, I want it to be its own game. I'm okay with that. But what I don't like is when I am doing the main end game task that I would like to have a little bit more influence as to how I'm doing it. And that is the only reason that I don't really care for the setup it is now. Like there's when you go into a map, right? You got these towers and you got to get lucky set up on these towers and you got to hit it with we'll just say your
Precursor tablets.
The tablets, right? You hit it with the tablets, and then all 3 towers around the maps, it misses the 4 maps that you wanted them to hit. Yay!
Right.
But I think I'm okay with that if they bring in something that does give us a little bit more deterministic feel for adjusting the maps. Now, when you put a map in your slot, right? We still have 3 other slots to put things in. So I'm not completely in disarray that they're not going to add stuff that we can put into the maps when we run the maps, kind of like scarabs or fragments when that time comes along for that content to be in.
Right. Right. So what we know, what we think we know, we're going to find out in time, is with the 0.3.0 drop, the end game is supposed to have these new bosses included. So the maps that Hberg was talking about, there's going to be a larger variety of those, right? So you should be seeing some of these Karui and Oriath maps, which is nice. That'll be cool. It'll be kind of like like just that alone makes me want to get there just to see what that feels like. But subsequently, there's also going to be new bosses that you would have fought in the campaign there as well. So that's going to be kind of refreshing too. So new bosses, new maps. They talked about progression tiers. So this is all just, again, this could all be speculation, but this is what we think we know from leaks. So progression tiers of mapping such that the maps that you choose to run could progressively get more difficult and then subsequently give you loot locked rewards unless you access that tier of difficulty. So the grind for like going through a tier, this is PoE 1 Tang, going through like tier 1 through 8, whatever, once you get to tier 9 maps, then you unlock that level of gear, and only then can you get like maybe uniques like that, right? That's maybe what's coming out.
Similar to like
crazy.
The D4 gates, right? Where like you had to get to Torment before you unlock this gear.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm okay with that.
I'm okay with that too. Like you give me a challenge, I'm going to go for it. Like I just have to stay up now because I can't sleep because the challenge isn't done, right? That's me.
I love that chase though. Honestly,
we all love that chase. That's why we do it, right?
I love it.
It's a little bit of a gatekeep on someone who doesn't have as much time, but with all of our communities, we can help that person out. We can get with them, team up, and lay down the law. And that's what it's all about. It's not just
100%.
about one player, it's about the journey, right? And what we could do as a team. So I'm down for that. They also addressed more important chase rewards. So if you did fight Zesht and you got away from that clap hand, instead of maybe getting nothing, maybe the rewards are better now. We're going to see, like, you want to fight these guys. And so that was something that I noticed. Like when I was running the Atlas, I didn't really care about running bosses. I didn't feel like I had to. I'm like, big deal. Like, who cares? What's the point? The good stuff is like the rares, right? I'm just going to like Hberg is saying, I'm just going to fracture it and try to make something cool and I move along. So maybe they're going to address that as well. And so if the post-campaign boredom is removed and the Atlas has this elevated tier of different endgame and new bosses, new maps, is that enough to keep people back without a Druid class with 0.30? Do you think that's something that's going to retain players more than the last one, Dawn of the Hunt?
I think so. Again, because it's just the ARPG genre and player base in general, right? We're always down for a reset. We're always down for, the next rush, or even if, again, even without the class, people will just always enjoy, like myself, starting fresh again and just building up, right? And trying to either maybe perhaps a new build or discovering a new meta. And again, just generally speaking, just playing the game on a fresh slate, right? Always feels good.
That's the good stuff. Yeah.
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 And so, yeah, without the class, I think it will still be enough, because a lot of Path of Exile 1 fans, I'm sure you guys can probably agree, love Path of Exile in general. They love the lore, they love the environment, they love the mechanics of the gameplay, everything about it, the artwork, whatever it may be. So they still, I mean, there's
generally,
still
yeah, depends on the league. Yeah,
I know Settlers went too long, and you were saying Necropolis was shit, but you know what I mean. Like, just in general,
I
like,
do know what you mean.
even playing the game Path of Exile 1 or 2, it's still going to be exciting enough because people want to get in there, and again, you want to stay in the loop, be up to date, and if there are changes regarding, regardless of a new class, they still want to play it out and feel it, see if they like it, and right, hopefully it rekindles.
Yeah, I'm generally a Diablo fan, unless we're talking about the last 3 seasons of Diablo 4. The gentleman over here is wearing a Diablo hat. We want to love it. Like, I'm willing to love it.
Yeah, everybody's here grew up with the game. We're all diehard Diablo fans. Yeah.
We would still give it a shot. So another thing that I wanted to mention before Spooker, you give me your thoughts on this was, and this is going to influence you. He keeps getting the ball. He batter up. He keeps getting the good one. But you talked about grinding to 100. GGG for the early access. And I don't think this is really important unless you're this is for you. They're making the leveling curve a little bit easier to hit 100 because it's kind of insane. Like it.
Good.
Yeah, it should become a little bit more attainable. Now, in the early access, I don't care about that at all. Like, I know why it's important to be level 90 so you can use level 20 gems and above. Cool. But I'll do that when the game comes out. I'm in early access to feel it out, see if it's for me, right? Again, just a good thing for people. Yeah, I know some people want to grind to 100. I'm not one of them. I will when the game comes out, but
next league that's
yeah. That being said, Spooker, what do you think? Where are you at with it? Will that retain more individuals' interest long enough or no?
I think that the people that enjoy the game are going to come back to the game. And I'm probably going to get a lot of shit for saying this, but a lot of the people that bitch about Path of Exile 1 or 2 are the ones that are still logging in. And they bitch. And I'm just like, the biggest impact that you can have for a game if you don't like it or it's something's wrong with it is logging out, because the developers will see that before they see your little petty bitching post that you put up somewhere for whatever reason. And I will stay on that train because it's like, if you don't enjoy it, don't play it. That's why I'm not playing Diablo 4. As much as I want to enjoy it, I log out because I know that that's more impactful than me playing it and bitching about it.
Yeah. Last one. This is kind of like a personal one. I want to make the multiplayer experience better. I want to feel like I want to team up with people. In Path of Exile 1, that is like clawing my eyes out. It's visually dense, extremely irritating because I can't see ground effects. Diablo 2 did it the best of all the ARPGs I ever played. PoE 2, it's a beautiful game, but the cost of a beautiful game is I still can't see shit on the ground, and it makes it difficult for me to play with you when you freeze everything or ignite it on fire, even at 2K res. I still can't see shit. So have you guys, after all the conversations you've had, do you guys have an idea that we could pitch to Grinding Gear Games to fix the multiplayer experience that does not include hide my party members' spells? Because I want to interact with them somehow. How do we fix that? Spooker, you're first.
Okay. You say without hiding, right? But why can't we use a partial solution with that in mind, right? I'm not hiding them, but do exactly what Diablo did, right? They took minions from other players, and they're not gone. You can still see them, but they're translucent to the point where you can actually see what's going on. So you still know that it's there. It's just more translucent so that you can see that bigger burning ground below it.
So what you're pitching is an opacity slider that says, I only want to see firewall 10%.
Right,
And,
but
you see this as a global change or like per spell? Because it have to be global, right? Like,
I would think it would be too much to do it per spell. I mean, I'm
I
sure
agree.
if you wanted to go that depth, you could, but from a developer perspective, that would just be a royal pain in the ass. I know.
Oh yeah.
I know backhand stories just from the MTX team for Path of Exile 1. You know how much hellhole they have to go through with keeping up with all those MTXs for every single spell and changes like that, which they do a very good job. But yeah, on this level, it would be more of like a global slider for just other players, right? But I also think even for yourself, like you give us the two sliders, your spells and other player spells, because then not only does that benefit you playing with others, it also benefits you by yourself, because that's a big Path of Exile issue. Like with my buddy Travik, he's doing a cast on build that he was farming with, and it's like as soon as he gets hit, you can't see shit. So you're either tanky, so you don't die to that shit you don't see, or you're
Is
dead.
this the cast when stunned RF thing? Is that what you mean? You can't see a damn thing?
Well, I mean that's one of them. There's a ton of different cast on things, but
sure,
generally speaking, the cast on builds have so many things being cast, and that's why they get so powerful.
Yes. Okay. So you would do an opacity slider. What do you got? Hberg, any idea how to fix that?
Yeah, actually, it's funny. You guys already mentioned it. Great minds think alike. I actually mentioned this a long time ago, especially when you're doing the Paradise map, right? For the Untainted Paradise for the extra XP.
Mm-hmm.
It gets insanely busy. So what I said was there should be a setting to hide party member skill effects, and that's basically what I would do. Like, you still see the player itself, so they're not faded out, right? It just helps for, of course, for obvious reasons, but yeah, it's just heavily faded out, or the opacity, right? So it's not completely gone, but it's not really there, right? It's like it's cloaked. It's cloaked. And it just gets to a point because there's so many ground hazards and death hazards, especially when you also ramp up the density in those maps, it is literally impossible to see anything what's going on, especially if you're playing hardcore. It's very nerve-wracking, to a point where me personally, that's also why I don't really do party play in that game. It is just too visually busy. Maybe 3 people tops, but even then it still gets busy. And some maps are also environmentally very active. They have a lot of stuff going on, very busy, a lot of colors. So it's just too busy. It's way too much, just visual diarrhea. So I think simply either just turning it off, where you still see of course, you still see the character and maybe them doing their animations, but either completely off, you don't even see their skill animations on your screen, or just heavily faded.
So the reason I asked this was, and these are all good ideas. So the reason I brought it up was in one of the interviews that we heard DM do with one of the designers of the game developers and design guys, he mentioned that one of the new bosses has a trap interaction, how he could interact with the world, right? So when one of the key abilities for this guy is to use a trap on you, and I want to team up with you guys, I can't really, in good faith, run that boss without expecting to get a spear in the ass. So it's like, well, that doesn't feel good.
Exactly.
So I started going through the ideas and what would I do? It's like, how the hell could I solve this without deprecating what already exists? And I just went to, believe it or not, I went to a game like Fortnite. They relied on audio cues. What they did is they put a circle around your character, and it's like, if there's a trap icon, it kind of goes with you. Like, this is what this symbol, there's a trap here. You're walking towards it, right? And in that kind of thing, so you have this navigation UI. I'm like, oh, that makes sense.
Like a grenade icon, right?
Like a grenade icon.
Like
something.
Like the FPS, yeah.
Yeah, the problem is the graphics are just too damn good looking, and the spells just feel so damn nice. You're not getting rid of that, because that's the bread and butter of the game. That's the ARPG. You are doing that magical thing.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want that to go away either. So they added that layer to it. I said, okay, that maybe that's got a place in our ARPG in a modern era. I don't know a lot of other games that have done that yet, and it'd be, I think, worth testing. But then you have accessibility issues, right? People that visually inept, it doesn't really help them. From the audio cue, do you do some kind of audio? I don't know, but I didn't like the idea. No offense to your ideas, got to have good ideas to get the idea going, the idea ball rolling down the street. But sliding the skills down, I think it's a halfway, it's a half measure, right? I don't have a good answer yet either, but I was curious to see what you guys thought. I didn't want to remove my party members' effort.
There was another thing that I actually thought about too, that discussing the different ideas, was with if you remove the slider from a possibility, right? There's always the old school way that a lot of games did when you go back to like retro gaming, and it's like, okay, there's this big red circle on the ground because there's a giant damaging effect coming to that point. And that was another solution that I was thinking of a while back when this issue was first discussed.
You know what game did that in practice? Diablo 4. Everything was fucking red. It was a red game, red hell, red effect. Can't see red on red. They faced all these problems. The color fallback, and maybe it would work because the art team at Grinding Gear Games is good, but when you rely on just red, you can't see it.
True. Well, that could be something that you would change. Like with any game, there's always going to be color issues, right? Because even with Path of Exile 1, when you have the red, green, blue sockets, right? When I was on console, because that's what I started Path of Exile on, when I was on console, my TV was so shit, I couldn't tell the difference between green and blue. So I had to put the little markers that they put around the circles so that you could tell, like, okay, this is that color. I mean, even though I'm not colorblind, but my TV just sucked. So
that's a good excuse.
If your vision was causing that same problem, I could see as long as you can adjust, or there's some adjustment behind that mechanic.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. Well said.
Well, gentlemen, that's my list. I threw in an extra one at the end for you. Is there anything you guys wanted to discuss today that we didn't cover? If I haven't covered anything for you, anything at all?
Yeah, I have a quick question for both of you. So.
Okay, so that's our podcast, guys. Thank you for tuning in. What do you got?
Beautiful.
It's a really quick, simple question. It's just one of those things that a lot of people have been talking about, and it's the whole Druid, right? Druid. A lot of people, including myself, feel that if it's not Druid, there's going to be a big lashback from the community. So, do you guys feel, is it pertinent for them to get the Druid or a class out with this next patch? And do you think that it'll be detrimental to GGG if they just don't release a class at all in this next patch?
Yeah, honestly, I think it'll be damaging for sure. 100%. Like, it's just people already lost steam waiting for the loot buff, right? For currency and all that, even rare drops. People lost steam even before the very first big ass patch where, they were making sure bosses guaranteed drop a rare or even legendary the first time you kill them, etc., right? List goes on. So yeah, plain and simple, keep it short. It will be really bad if they don't. That's all. The feedback, and it's just not going to resonate well. And I mean, we'd have to wait another 4 months. And at that point, it's a year into the early access, which I'm okay with personally. I got tons of patience, and I'm enjoying all of the changes, improvements, right? Not so much some of the nerfs, but in general, it will be bad. That will not be good.
How about you, Barricade?
Did you hear we're only getting Acts 4 and 5? Did you hear that we're only getting 30 new bosses? Did you hear that we're only getting 10 new uniques? Oh my god, but no Druid. People want a reason to bitch. I don't hear that. You will get the Druid in time. I've played Diablo 4 before it was polished. It fucking sucks. You can log into the last game and there's still monster tag missing. Put in the work. Give me the polished fur. Like, I don't mind. I'm willing to wait. Give me the good shit. People are going to complain. I don't want to hear that. That's fine. I'm going to give you that game a shot. I'm going to give you my opinion on what they gave us, but I'm not expecting anything. Like, fuck no. I expect when the game comes out, there's a Druid class. And guess what? It'll be there. If it's not there this time, I couldn't care. Like, I couldn't care less.
No, I don't disagree with that either. Like, I wouldn't say that I couldn't care less, and I'm not going to start
care less.
I'm not going to say I'm going to be bitching about it either. It's not going to take away any of my excitement. Yeah, it's going to be a little disappointing because I have to wait longer. Super excited. That's my most anticipated class next to the Templar. But it's because until they make... hold on, I got to give a little backstory here. They already mentioned that they want to bring in a lot of skills, if not all the skills in the game, to at least be viable in terms of performance and actually doing all the content. They do not want to have Path of Exile 2 limited to only a handful of meta builds. So now, what I'm going to say now is, I think if they don't introduce the class, it'll be very disappointing, frustrating, and also just a almost quits for some players because they don't want to go back to play the classes we have available now because they're going to say, oh, there's only X amount of builds available for these classes and I've already played them all and there's nothing different. It's the same shit. There's, it's still the same meta. There's nothing new. So we'll just
that argument's whack because you're playing the game before the game's even out to market. You're welcome. They never even had to roll that out to us. We're beta testing it.
That's not what I'm not saying. That's what I am going to say. I'm saying
no.
I agree.
But the conversation of like, oh, you didn't give me the Druid in early access this time. See ya, I'm gone. Okay, well then see ya, bye. Because it's going to come in time. Like you just don't have to play it right now.
There's a lot of baby gamers, man.
But guess who's coming back when the Druid launches?
Yeah, you'll be there. You'll try it, and you're welcome. That it's polished.
100%. 100%.
Like for me, it was like, okay. Oh, Druid's not here. Fucking game sucks. Company's a POS. Okay. But then the next expansion, it's like, there's your Druid. They're like, let's fucking go. And they can't wait to do it. Like, you will play it.
Yep.
It's early access, man. It's like, you will play. Like me. I'm waiting for that Paladin in Diablo 4. I'm the guy like you're talking about, right? They didn't give it to me all this long. They didn't even give me Mephisto. Am I willing to get in the next expansion? I don't know now.
Diablo.
You didn't give me the fucking Diablo. It's like, you know what I mean? I heard a thing. Anyway, yeah. That's my opinion. There you go. What's yours?
Mine, I think that I don't think it matters which class it is, but I think no class would be detrimental, and not just from the player base as a whole. Like, oh, well, we didn't get in stuff for bitching purposes. I just think that they've been promised, they've been told that, hey, we have 2 classes ready when they first dropped EA, right? So where's this at least second class? I think a lot of people will be, what's the word I'm looking for? Disinterested, discouraged. Yeah, that's a good word too.
But like, dude, wouldn't you rather have all the acts, all the items, all the bosses to play with? Wouldn't you just like that experience and then you get the guy?
Oh, I completely agree. I'm okay with anything they give us at this point. I'm 100% good. He said no. Wait,
no. I'd say honestly, man. Like, it isn't biased either. I'm just in the general pool of I'm okay with fucking whatever they give us, even if it's without the class, because I'm just having so much fun with the early access, anyways, man.
I knew you guys were true gamers.
Yeah, like I'm patient. Like I really am, and I'm enjoying it. Even if I still have to go ahead and I will still make another Expo Wazda fucking Merc. I'll still have fun. But like, that's just where I am. Like I don't want to sound too biased or like pushover sort of thing. It's just I am just that generalized about enjoying PoE2's EA. Give me the class, I'm fucking pumped.
If they don't give me the class
to reset and add me new acts or whatever it may be, I'm still pumped.
Yeah. It could be the best thing that you don't get that class. Because the time constraint on the 2-month thing, you don't give a shit. Because your class wasn't there. You're playing another game anyway. So that FOMO, that's how you erode that, right? You didn't get the thing. Boo-hoo. Okay, like I get it. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
Wait and see what happens.
Yep. We wait. Yep. And to that, we'll go ahead and end the episode, but we will be doing another episode prior to the 0.3 launch. So we'll have all the deets and the leaks and all the information. And
can't wait.
I'm excited to see y'all then. So
thank you,
man.
Ta-ta for now.
Gentlemen, thanks for taking the time. Appreciate it, Spooker and guys. Echoes and Exile.
Thanks, guys. Yep. Barricade Spook, and of course to all of our great viewers and community members watching. So cheers, everybody. Salute, and we'll see you in the next episode.
GG's.
That's episode 4. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.